Hi, this is video 12 for things not working, and it's called different results with different time steps in iRIC. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the issues here. When we were running the reach called Hamilton City from the Sacramento River, we discovered that the iRIC code produced an erroneous result. Well, it was lucky for us, well, lucky in one sense, that the results were silly. So it was clear that there was an error. As you'll see, the simulated channel does curlicues, crosses over itself, and is just patently wrong. In order to remedy this, Frank found that when he changed the time step from 1 year, which is the traditional time step that we've always used in the MATLAB code, and he changed it to 1/10 of a year, that the iRIC code got a result that matched the MATLAB output. Frank has a notion that the reason that this does this is that the actual smoothing codes in iRIC are different than the smoothing codes in MATLAB. But he hasn't confirmed that. That was just his hunch. Of course, the larger question is, how will this phenomenon play out in other situations? We don't know. We've only discovered it in this one case. At this point, there's no way to know that you need to change the time step from 1 year to 1/10 of a year to get better results. It's only because, in this case, we know that, and we know that the other results were silly. But what about somebody in the future running something when it doesn't have curlicues? How are they supposed to know that it's silly? Okay, here we have the iRIC code, and that's the Hamilton City reach. When we use the default settings and we set it up for the proper input parameters, the proper flow parameters, time step of 1 year is what will show up as a default, and it's what we use for every other run that I know of. Okay, we run it. And we get our output, and we see that it's clearly something's wrong here. Okay, now as I told you before, the way that Frank was able to remedy that was to change the time step that it runs to 1/10 of a year. So it's running 10 times as many time steps here as it did in the previous example. And what you'll see is that the results are the same results we get in MATLAB, but in MATLAB you run it at a 1 year time step. That's the problem. Okay, thank you.